Hello and welcome to Wrestleopinionated. This is our weekly show all about the shows of AEW. We are your hosts. I am Morg and this is...
Witty nickname Matt Strange. This is...
Too tired to think up things, Muir.
Aww. You
I'm
boys
not really,
alright?
I'm just being lazy.
I hurt.
I don't actually. I'm a far better shape than I thought I was in, because I'm alright.
Marathons and shit. Yeah, no wonder you're... The two old boys were at Play and Pretend this weekend and they've tuckered themselves out. I didn't...
Says the man that looks like Grandfather fucking Time in the corner.
Mate, I might look old, but I'm incredibly youthful in my heart and personality.
I'm just youthful in my mentality.
Hey.
Oh.
Yeah.
12-year-old caveman Matt Strange.
Right, so this might be the first time you've listened to our show, and as such you would need to know that we have a tier list.
Hooray, he's remembered.
Yes, I forgot last week. That is how we give different ranks to BTE as a whole, the overall score for Dynamite and individual matches. We are still not reviewing Dark or Dark Elevation. I think after next week it will be unlikely that we will ever go back to them unless somebody comes and
I'm not.
Yeah, well, unless a listener comes in and goes, you really need to have watched last week's Dark.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because as of next week somebody's going to be doing the Rampage review.
Hey! Oh no!
Yes, Strange.
It's me. Well, we'll have a good long one for the first one. Surely we're going to be like, oh, and we'll shout Phil at you a lot, undoubtedly.
But anyway, on to the tier list, Mr. Strange.
Cool. So you all know a good tier list from computer games and YouTube channels and Tier Zoo. You can make them on meme sites now and everything. Woo! We only go as low as a D. That's our lowest rank match or segment. That's a bad segment. Maybe the promo was bad. Maybe it was a boring squash match. We didn't give a shit. That's a D rank situation. It's bad. Time was wasted. From there we go up to a C. C is what we expect from a good segment. We want a nice little promo that explains things. We want good wrestling in the ring. Doesn't have to blow our minds, but you know, just enough that we go, yeah, that was good. It's alright. C. C is probably weirdly my favourite type of match, the match plus one as we call it. It's normally not a mind-blowing situation, but it's just a really good, crisp match. Want to know why the wrestlers are there? A good little bit of story. Maybe it's the promo leading up to this section. Just a phenomenal bit that we really get to see a wrestler's character. That's what we want from a B, a match plus one. A is normally the top of the week, hopefully. A has got everything. The match is crisp, clean, story in, story out, some cool moves we didn't expect. Maybe some little bit of flair, not too much of a meme match, but, you know, a bit of tables, ladders, and chairs, that's what we like. An A-rank promo segment obviously just gives us the full character. It's some of Jericho's brilliant video packages, some of the things which have explained the NJPW things that really get you involved in the story. That's an A-rank segment. An S, the rarest of things. Your fired clowns fighting John Cena. Your wizards fighting bikers. Your luchadors and your ninja ladies. S-rank matches blow the paradigm. You're glued to the TV. You see GIFs of it. People tweet about it with annoying hashtags that you hate. Those rare moments that come around every now and then. Rare is the S-rank segment or promo, but we've had them before. We've had Jericho's parody of the Cody fucking video package from early on with the title match. Release that. It's normally Jericho. S-rank promo packages can exist.
Yeah,
so it's D, shitty. C, good. B, very good. A, awesome. And S, the best thing you've seen. Meow.
Thank you very much, Mr. Strange. And I think we're going back to you again now, because you're the one with the information. Time to look at this week's news in wrestling.
NXT's dead. Basically. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
The game.
The game, Triple H.
I don't think the problem is hating the game at this point.
No, but he's crying. He's a sad man. 13 NXT stars released, including Bronson Reed, who's apparently the biggest name on that list, who's really in at the moment. New things set that they can't have any wrestlers over 30 or under a certain like height or muscle mass.
A certain derogatory term was used for the size of the person. Yeah. What a great
Vanilla
joke.
midgets.
Yes, indeed.
Kevin Nash is it's going to exist in legend. I even watched a CM Phil promo where he brought it up the other day.
Amazing.
So AEW was kind of the rival to NXT originally, and they moved to be on the same channel.
They were
then they
counter-programming it, yeah.
Yeah, they were counter-programming it, and everybody loved NXT. People tried to get me back into wrestling before AEW and Lucha Underground with NXT. And so their plan is fill it full of young people, which is fine, up-and-coming wrestlers. It's one of the things we love about AEW, but hardlining it and then firing everybody, but still having Vince's big meat obsession. Don't know. It's weird, boys. It's weird. They're selling to Disney.
Funnily enough, I had that conversation with someone this weekend. Exactly that conversation.
To Disney. It's happening. You watch Big Match John and The Rock with their Disney contracts rocking out into a fucking. I can't go off on an anti-media rant
just
about how everything's dead.
I'm so tired.
It's happening, boys. My rage is coming.
So
but it's about media. Quick, we have to move on before I start complaining about how every film is the same.
So let's move away from media and move to. Oh, wait a minute. Social media. I believe it's a quiet one this week, Mr. Strange.
Media?
Can you guess what they're talking about, Morg? Can you guess? They had this moment last week.
Are they still talking about Punk and Bryan?
And Adam Cole now, to be fair.
And Bray.
Adam Cole. Oh, and Bray, yep. Yeah, that's all. But everybody who's been... And Flair. And, Big Beard Man with train noises. Strong man. Yeah. And Big Strong Ginger Man, who was in a feud with Malachi Black when
Eric Rowan.
Was...
Yeah, no, not Eric Rowan, the other one.
The other
Murphy.
one. Yeah, Murphy. That's all it is. All social media is at the moment is person leave WWE, they should join AEW. That's all wrestling is at the moment. Got a full roster. Like I work there.
Get Tony on the phone. I need another house.
Tony, fucking deal with it. Otherwise, and obviously the expanded world of wrestling is getting a little bit bigger as there's title matches from Impact and AEW and NJPW all over the place. Yeah, actually, one thing I did find interesting, which I would like, because I've been a big supporter of this lass, Jordan Grace, who has started dressing like Scott Steiner, which
amazing.
Yes, she's got the chainmail coif
and the shade. Okay, yeah. I was just about to ask, was it Big Daddy Pump? But yeah. Fair.
Yeah. Who's recently smashed like 3 women's powerlifting world records, has complained that the Forbidden Door hasn't been that open to women yet. Which I sort of agree with. I could see a few more of the Impact ladies in AEW and a few more of the other things showing up. So maybe we'll get some more stuff, but
I don't know if they have any sort of agreement with Stardom because they're owned by Bushiroad, who own NJPW. But I don't know if it crosses.
They don't want to sabotage their Big Dimes series. NJPW's fallen a bit over the Rona era, I'm sad to say, whereas Stardom has maintained.
Yep.
So yeah, otherwise that's about it. And a tiny person who speculated that Kagetsu might come back to wrestling, but I'm not going to put it.
I wasn't going to even post it to you because I don't like getting your hopes up. Just have them destroyed.
Meg, could you imagine how much I would pop if her fucking music kicked in on any show? Oh, fuck, boys, it's happening. I'd be more excited than more.
You would be for Naita. Yeah,
I'd be more excited. I'd shit my pants. I'd be so excited. So yeah, that's about it. More women's stuff maybe, speculation for my greatest stuff, and X has been released. Why don't they go to AEW? We don't need them, Tony. Don't need them.
So, moving on, time to hit the reviews. Probably going to be a shortish one this week. And I think this one's going to be very short. BTE, Mr. Muir.
My review will be shorter than the coughing fit I just had. Right, okay, moving on. This started with Elite talking to Brandon, saying that they'd seen that he was cheating, that he needs to now cheat more because apparently every time he puts the Dark Order on BTE, he needs to now cheat for them more and enjoy it. Then we had the long-haired bit where Nick just faded into the background of an airport on one of those escalators playing with his hair. Then we had the two good bits of this, which were the best friends trying to explain to Yuta why he didn't win his match.
1, 2, 3, it's over. Is that true? That really made me laugh.
Worked, which was good. I'm not gonna lie, that bit was great. Then we had the Japanese version of the Peter Avalon and Layla Bates bit. And then we seemed to have an angry Abaddon flashing at the end after he said that he really liked her. And now
Japanese horror thing.
Yeah. Then we had the Hollywood hunk selling his cream on a shitty 1980s advert, which I thought was good.
I didn't get it, but I'm still watching out of intrigue.
I want to know where it's going, don't get me wrong, but yeah, that's it. And then we had, for the last 10 or so minutes, was just a recap of what was on Dynamite the week before, so yeah.
Very skippable week.
I didn't mind the opening bit with Kenny and the Bucks overhealing it.
They weren't giving people a match and all that jazz.
Yeah. But yeah, it's all right. It's very skippable.
You barely mustered that one out, Morg.
I know. It was fairly skippable. I'd say it's a low C, probably saved by the middle bit.
Yeah. It's definitely a C. Sorry, guys. Not much time there.
There wasn't much to talk about. So, moving on, it is Dynamite and Homecoming this week. So that's this week's name of the show. JR Excalibur and Shivani on commentary. MJF joins them, and it's Jericho versus Juventud Guerrera in the third Labor of Jericho. Jericho wins with a top roast Judas effect. What do you think of the match, and what score did you give it?
I enjoyed this match more than I think it was technically worth in the ring, if that makes sense. Not to say it was a bad match, it was a good match. Juventud has got some good chops on him, and I like him. But I don't know, every Rana he pulled off on Jericho just seemed to look a bit weird. It was solid, they were comfortable with each other, it wasn't perfect, but it was well paced. It's like a positive. It's all right for me. Like, it was good. I enjoyed it, but I don't know if it deserves as much as I loved it. Jericho pulled off a mask tear, which is a lot more of a heel move. But, you know, I enjoy a mask tear every now and then, as long as it's not all the way off.
I think it was meant to show desperation to try and win because he's so battered. Not more of a heely thing. But yeah.
I got you. The buckle drop into the walls of Jericho looks rough as fuck on poor Hoovy. I was like, he's just dropped on his face straight into having his back bent. So I was like, oh
he's dead.
Hoovy's got a phenomenal spinning neck breaker. That his little whoop, I love that. And I actually thought the Judas effect looks pretty good as a top rope move, weirdly.
That's exactly what me and the Raptor said.
Yeah. Was this match perfect? No. Was it entertaining? Yes. Was it a solid opener to the show? Yes. Did we have good story? And is this part of an ongoing thing? Yes, I gave it a B. Overall, I was entertained and I felt welcome to the show.
For the match, I gave it a B. I really enjoyed it. It was sloppy, but I think they did very well for the, combined age of the two men in the ring. And for what it was, I think it was really good. The bit after I want to talk about, but yeah, I enjoyed this match and I thought it was a good start to the show.
High C from me, mainly because I was a little bit distracted during this because our food arrived partway through it, and I was really tired watching this show, so it's possible that I wasn't quite as inspired as I should be. I did at one point have one of those moments where the Raptor said something, I made no response. Are you okay? And I was like, yes, I answered you in my head and did not move my lips. So yeah, the response. So I gave it a high C, which means it was probably a B. If that makes sense.
We're the positive ones.
Yeah,
this
I
is
think,
good.
I think I'm probably going to be just like one shot off each.
You're going to be me for this show. God.
Well, more the fact that
not that bad.
I'll probably be just as positive about the match, but I think my scoring's a bit off.
Fair.
Then Wardlow jumps Jericho and Hoovertude, and we have an MJF promo.
Good Wardlowing. He came in and did a good stop.
Yeah.
He looked beefy. Good MJFing. MJF's great on the mic. Little underwhelming, to be fair.
I'm not happy with this at all.
But wouldn't you save your cooler challenges for later rather than put him in and not put him into a match that we've already seen Cody beat him in a set of trials before?
Also, you just bury him Wardlow. Well, he's not burying him, but you know what I mean. He's just adding another loss to Wardlow for no reason.
I'd have saved the cooler ones for later, personally.
Yeah, totally. This was a letdown for me.
To be, I wasn't impressed.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, cool.
You've made it really interesting bringing in all these people from Jericho's past, and then all these unusual matches, and then you've gone, here you go, it's the one you all expected.
Yeah, exactly that. We went from Sean Spears to the cool ones, and I was like, okay, I like the Spears match. I like Spears. He's gonna fight through all of the. Oh no, he's not. But now pick one. Underwhelming. I'll give it a D.
I wouldn't go that far, but yeah. So following on from that, we had a very quick Death Trial and Andrade backstage promo.
God.
Thoughts?
What is Andrade's plan? Is it just annoy them until they... Oh, look, this has happened. That's really annoying. You should work for me. Oh, look.
If someone just kept pissing in your pint every week, would you start working for them?
Exactly that.
Yeah.
And I do feel a bit weird. Like, as much as I like the Alex Penta says bit, everybody who was there spoke Spanish.
Yeah.
Everyone. He doesn't need to. I didn't like it. I'm disappointed with Andrade's entrance. I'm glad Chavo looks happy.
Yeah, I don't know where this is going, and as
this
you
was
say,
definitely a low
now
C.
if they turn on Pac, they're just going to seem like dickheads. Not even. It's not going to make a sudden big heel turn.
He's not even winning them over. They're like, no, fuck you. You're really annoying. He's like, I got you a limo though, and that's all three of them now have now got no, fuck you. We could have had Los Ignorables. God fucking damn it.
I know wrestlers probably don't want to retread stuff, but it would have given them an instant in, wouldn't it?
So
I'm giving it a D. Again.
Moving on, Dark Order and Hangman promo.
I just wrote down weird, gotta see where it goes, and I think it's rounded out better by the later moments. I hope they don't tread this ground of Hangman needing to be on his own too much, but I can see the basis of this, especially with what it does later, so I'm not gonna rank it here.
I liked how the Dark Order seemed to be being a bit less childish in this. They wanted to help him, but then they listened to Uno and Grayson just go, no, let him go. He's an adult. He'll sort himself out. If he needs us, we're there for him, sort of thing, which I think was good.
I think that's going to be the playoff, because I think that the Elite were not there for him when he needed them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think the Dark Order will be there, and that's what will be the playoff. Yeah, we'll give it an overall score later. So then it was 2.0 and Daniel Garcia versus Darby Allin, Mox and Kingston with Sting, because they called out the big boys.
What?
faces win after hitting all 3 of their finishes. What did you think of the match, and what score did you give it?
Right, so I didn't have my full most attention on this match because
Okay.
I was in quite an intense conversation at the time, shall we say. So that's not to say I didn't like this match. It's a very unusual match. I did write down the title of the match as 3 dudes versus the 3 most over guys in the company. And all of the wrestlers are down by description, so you're gonna have to bear with
Cool.
me. Right, so we get a good technical start with Darby and the random in pants, the only guy who was in pants. And then and that was a really good technical start, which we're used to from Darby, and then he got knocked out and Trousers with Ponytail got in, and there was some more technical stuff there. Darby goes out and we get Trousers with Tail and a nice solid brawl against Eddie, and it was actually quite good to see Eddie doing some of his old school brawly stuff and actually sort of coming out on top as opposed to either squashing or being in a he's losing situation.
Yeah.
And there was some greenness showing in Team Randos, but there a lot of enthusiasm and energy from them. But all I could keep thinking through the match was, who are these guys? And they're not gonna win. But I didn't hate that thought. I was just like, yeah, all right, match is pretty fun.
I've enjoyed this.
A lot of Eddie, which I enjoyed, and it was solid through pick and not dull. The guy who was shouting at Sting got annihilated by Darby coming through.
The Sting was amazing. He perfectly sold that as well. He did not even flinch or look towards Darby. It was amazing.
Darby just fucking nuked him. We got a really good hot tag for Mox to come in and be crazy and run about and do Mox things. And then the over-the-top finishing combo, which was pretty fucking great.
It's a coffin drop. That man's just fucking dead.
How much I didn't care. How much I went in going, who the fuck are these guys? It was a really solid match and I was well entertained. I don't think I can realistically give it higher than a C for just being a good moment in the show that I enjoyed without much real story. But yeah, it was pretty good.
Fuck it, it's a B from me anyway. I like Darby's new video. I think it's really cool. Yeah. It's like weird, like I'm guessing it's like old school Disney style artwork from the 30s, but I liked it. I still think Wild Thing's a lame song for them to come out to, but that's me. I loved Eddie's head rub to tag in Darby. I thought that was brilliant. I also love that Eddie's so fucking over with people. Who would have thought that Eddie Kingston would have been so over on a national TV show, you know?
He's very nice.
Yeah.
Person.
Yeah, this was a B for me. I really enjoyed this. It was silly and it wasn't even trying to be serious. You knew that these 3 guys didn't stand a chance, but it was good fun.
Yeah, I gave it a C also.
He says, I won't be positive ever again.
But I enjoyed it. It was solid. It didn't turn into the squash match I thought it was going to be. I particularly liked the fact that, yes, they called out these 3 guys specifically. But as I said before, I liked the continuity that it was Sting, Mox, and Eddie. I like that continuity because we've had... Darby, Mox, and Eddie. Because we've
always
had...
been sort of a
It could have been Los Ignorables with a face Andrade. God fucking damn it.
Other things I quite liked. I did like Eddie and Mox marking out for Sting at the end. That made me laugh.
Eddie's
that
little
made me
face.
laugh. And the bit, if
you
you'd noticed, Sting pulling himself out of the having your hand raised bit, because he happened to be standing in the area, and pointing to the 3... The 3 other guys, I particularly like that. I'm really liking what Sting... In these last couple of weeks, I've really liked what they've done with Sting.
He doesn't just come out and, you know, someone attacks him. He's been fine.
Yeah, they're using him quite well at the minute. Right, following on from there, Brian Cage and Ricky Starks promo. Any thoughts?
How is a man as big and muscular as Brian Cage?
Such a soft voice.
A man who bases himself off a combination of the Wolverine from
And the
X-Men
Terminator.
and the Terminator. How is he so not menacing? And I'm sure. Actually, no, I've been beaten up by people on steroids before.
Yeah.
I'm sure if he was in my face threatening me, I'd giggle. I'd be like, "Oh no!" And then he'd fold me in half and fit me into a shoebox.
Or not.
You know, he could pull my limbs off. But he is absolutely mogged on the mic by Ricky. Just why doesn't he have a manager, or why can't he just be a lovely face? He's obviously a lovely man.
Yeah.
I think that is where they're going. I think that is where we're going to end up.
They've got to, because like he's like, yeah, who better do the throat cut thing, and I'm like, oh, your big cuddly face. I bet you give really nice hugs.
God.
Yeah, so I didn't rank it. I was laughing about that, if I'm honest. So we'll skip it.
Following on from that, we had the Elite promo. Any thoughts?
Oh God. Yes.
Right,
I have many thoughts.
I didn't notice everything Muir's gonna criticize, so I really fucking love this promo.
I didn't criticize it. I was just pointing them out to you.
Gallows' flare coat was wonderful, and they got everything in, all of the bounces. There was great shit lording. They all did their little moment. Nick's getting a bit more involved now with "Is there no one else?" and all that. I loved it. I had a great time. I gave this an A. I thought it was fucking hilarious.
And we also got the Dark Order versus Gallows for the Impact titles next week, which should be good fun. So we had what's his name? Fucking hell, Kenny Omega wearing a
that guy.
Monster top. Yeah, you know, the champ, that guy. Wearing a Cookie Monster top, which is obviously CM Punk. Yeah,
I didn't get that.
For Gallows wearing Flair.
Yep.
Then we had the Hawaiian shirts for Bray.
They've worn the Hawaiian shirts before.
But obviously
I had
on the
not
other ones.
spotted any of those. Wow, that is so impressive, Muir.
I got the flare coat.
To be honest, the flare coat, I only clocked that it was a flare coat when you just said it. I just thought he was decided he was going to wear a flashy robe like Ric Flair, and I hadn't made that connection. I was very tired.
Yeah, fair.
That's fair.
He looks great in that robe.
I would have Gallows be Ric Flair.
Oh, mate. Oh, it'd be so good.
Would Ric Flair coach again pretend to be a Ric Flair impersonator?
Won't be any worse than AJ was.
So did you both like this promo?
I did like it.
An A, mate. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah,
I hit all the points.
It's definitely getting an A from me after having those extra bits pointed out.
Wonderful.
In fact, you know what?
Oh, you're giving it an S.
I think now I've had those bits pointed out to me, it's certainly a high A.
I could be wrong with the Hawaiian shirts, but that's what I got.
No, I think you've got it.
True.
It would have got an S if there was a definite Daniel Bryan one in there.
What Anderson was wearing, it was some hot dog shirt.
Actually, I don't know. No. If they'd had something that was an American Dragon or something like that we could have spotted, I'll say it was an S. If one of our listeners spots something and says it was a Bryan thing, message us on the email address. I'll upgrade it.
I'll go back to watch.
Yeah, I'll upgrade it to an S.
Moving fantastic either way.
Yeah, it's definitely an A. Moving on from there, Christian Cage versus Blade with the bunny. Cage wins with the spear. What did you guys think of the match? What scores did you give it?
This was good. I actually enjoyed this. We had a good starting brawl. Both of them brawled really well. I still can't get over how sculpted his Blade is. He looks like he was drawn into life by a Marvel comic artist now. He looks like Liefeld invented him.
Yes, mate.
But yeah, there's some great technical stuff in this match. Cage is just wonderful in the ring. He's got some really good counters. I got to see little Layla come out. We all know I fucking love Layla. And if Layla's joining the best friends to make them the first two-woman stable, I'll be overjoyed. Blade's rope blow, rope throw. Fuck me. Let me get these.
Worse than me.
Blade's rope throw is brutal, and he did it like 2 or 3 times. And just the match was really solid. We had really good pacing, even in picture-in-picture, which is now a thing up. It's picked up since I complained about it because they listened to the show.
See,
Blade's brawling is great. We had good strikes all the way around. Blade got put over. He looked great. And he pulled off that beautifully tight power slam near the end of the match, which was wonderful. Not the best spear I've ever seen, but it was fine. Yeah, I gave it a high C. This was a really nice middle of show match that put over both people without me being too invested in the storyline or what was going on. I enjoyed it.
I really liked this match. I thought it was just some solid wrestling. I really enjoyed it. I had no complaints. The story is fine, and I gave it a high C/low B, depending on how it fits in that sort of scale, you know?
Yeah, I got you.
It's high C's all around. Yeah, much the same. This was a solid mid-card wrestling match. Well, I would say better than mid-card, but yeah, this was a solid match. And I'm really... Christian is living up to his own hype. And I mean
matches,
yeah, and I mean
it
that
was
in
the
his
Jannetty all along.
I mean that in his promo hype, not necessarily, the hype surrounding him. His promo hype, he's managing to live up to it, and I'm quite looking forward to what's going to come out of it.
Yeah, no, it's all really interesting, and he has been, as much as we complain about some of the choice stuff, he has been a great addition to somebody who wrestles enough, is in stories enough, and won people over time. He didn't come into a massive pop. He came in and went, oh yeah, it's this, looked around a bit, and has just slowly won people over through actual charisma, which is, his thing.
Yeah. Moving on from there, Santana and Ortiz, FTR promo, well, half of FTR. What did you think?
Fuck that injury.
Oh, that was vicious.
We discussed a while back of can an injury be good for plot and character, and Bald FTR really, it works really well. Obviously, it was all unintentional. He just bounced off the rope and cut his arm open. It happens. But using this in plot is really good. Like, he seemed really angry, and I'm a fan of it. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
and it made P&P feel a little bit less like they'd just eaten shit.
Yeah, it was solid.
Yeah, I haven't really got much to add on that. That you've pretty much summed it all up for me there.
Sorry, boys, I'm too good.
Moving on from there, Britt Baker promo, in-ring interview, and Red Velvet interrupting. Thoughts?
I was excited when Velvet came out. Velvet was incorrect. Red is Brit's colour. That coat is great. Sorry, Red Velvet. I know it's in your name and you're a cake, but you're wrong. Good heel going, yeah, I'll just kick your ass. I've beaten you before. I quite like a heel who doesn't necessarily always have to be the snivelly one.
Yeah.
Velvet's got better on the mic, and then we got a good curb stomp. Women's plot, I'll take it. B. Have some story.
We're not allowed women's plot.
Women's plot.
Yeah, this was solid. I enjoyed it. I'm glad to see they're using Red Velvet again, No.
Oh, sorry,
having 2 matches.
I muted myself then. Yeah, I'd like to see a women's storyline that doesn't just revolve around the title.
Give it time. Well,
following on from that, we had
too much show up.
Yeah. Following on from that, we had an Andrade and Chavo promo. Any thoughts?
Better than the previous one. I felt bad for Fuego. But when you have to bring Fuego in to get heat and love for your new big name, I'm not putting Fuego down. He's great and we love him and he's earned his place on Dark, but he's not really been a main show guy. But otherwise, it was better than the previous one. It's passable. It's a C.
I think they should be doing better than this. As much as I like Fuego, it's just, it feels like you're just trying anything to get some sort of heel heat on this guy,
Yeah. Following on from that, Dan Lambert of America's Top Team cut a promo. Any thoughts?
Excited.
I'm quite excited.
I like this guy. He's crazy and screams like an old man. I'm with him.
I'm not one for MMA stuff, but if they're bringing in some kind of MMA Lance story plot thing and that guy's promoing, fuck it, we'll keep it. Good stuff.
It's Bork.
Mate,
God.
if that guy brings in Bork and they actually don't make Bork what WWE do, I'd be quite excited if I'm honest. If they let Bork be the weird fedora wearing fisherman who wears cardigans that he
Yes,
really
mate.
is, mate, I'm down with it.
Right.
What if it's Bork?
Right. I've missed a section here somehow.
You have. It's all right.
Hangman
Go back.
in-ring interview, which is interrupted by the Elite. Thoughts?
This showed some good story stuff. We got some good little interview bits. I was having a good time. Good Kennying. Kenny came out and was actually say he didn't need Don to do promos for him. It's
Madness.
nice. I liked the Dark Order disagreeing and them going, no, this is what he wants, let him
Do his thing. Yeah.
I think that's good storytelling, and I think it helped round out the first one for me that didn't settle so well. Blessed Kaz, obviously, and solid dubsy dub at the end. I always enjoy a moment like this. It's all right, good. Let's see where this Hangman story goes. Just don't drag it on too long. We don't need to see him hit the bottom again.
No, God, no.
Following on from that, we had Lee Johnson with Dustin versus Miro. Miro wins with the game over. What do you think of the match, and what score did you give it?
I just wrote down Lee Johnson Murder Simulator, but it wasn't as murdery as I was expecting, if I'm honest. Blessed Redeemer. He's meant to be heel. We're meant to hate him, and the crowd fucking love him. They love him so much. One guy in the crowd was holding an R.I.P. Lee Johnson sign, and I was like, yes, mate.
Lads.
And it opens up with a normal Miro solid slugfest. He gives his opponents their spots. He normally obviously leads with the majority of the aggression. I thought that was going to be it. But it went on a lot longer than I thought it would. And I'm loving Miro's body language. I mean, when he hits a slam, like his drop slam scoop thing, and he just stands there afterwards. He is great. I like the escape from the game over under the ropes. That's a rare thing. We've not seen much of that. I like the chop off with Lee outside the ring, where Lee chopped him like 3 times. He just went, "Ugh," and then just fucking disintegrated him like he's Ishii or something. It was obviously squashy, but it didn't feel too squashy. There was a weird self-spot confusion where Lee had pulled off a counter or something, but it didn't look like a counter, and Miro stood there, but then he fell over. But that's probably my only criticism from it. We got like 2-3 last-minute Johnson comebacks, which I did not expect. And the first proper comeback he did, he just annihilates Miro. Miro kicks out on fucking 1. I was like,
mate.
This is my champ. And I said, Lee looked good. He got suplexed and landed on his feet, did a bunch of different things, and then just annihilated him. And the crowd fucking cheered for Miro. He mouthed, "I forgive you," to his unconscious body.
As he should.
Arguably, it's only a high C. The match was good. Everybody looked good. There was some story. It feels like a B to me going back over it, but it's also reasonably squashy. But at least a high C. I'm fucking loving Miro.
Yeah, what more is there to really say about this? I love Miro's entrances with the horns and stuff. I think it's just great. And I just like that he's just too powerful. He just lets people have a bit of a go at him, and then he just gets bored and finishes them. It's perfect.
High C's across the board by the looks of things. Yeah, really enjoyed this match. Thought it was solid. Was not the squash. I don't know what. I think I did say throughout before. We expected a squash match, but at the same time we didn't, because whoever's booking Miro, whoever their road agent is doing a really good job of understanding how to use his skills. And we've had the unstoppable monster before. I don't think we need another one. It was good. Moving on from there, Christian Cage backstage interview. Any thoughts?
Why was he singing? Anyway, yeah, Layla, best friends, good stuff. I'm gonna pop. Cage is really charismatic and gets over his points. Really good stuff. Solid.
Yeah, it's solid. I haven't got much to say about this.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it was a good. It was a good promo. Following on from that, it was Bunny with the Hardy Family Office versus Layla Hirsch with the Best Friends. Layla wins with the crossarm breaker. Thoughts and scores.
It's all right. Obviously, I'm excited whenever the Best Friends are on, and hopefully, I'm not giving this +1 rank for Best Friends. We got a brawling start, which I always approve of. Actually makes it feel like wrestling. And Bunny seems to have got better. We've been judgmental of her in the past. She's definitely tightened up a bit. Solid enough for most of it. Did slow down in picture-in-picture, and it was all Bunny, which is part of the criticisms we made in the past, where the break is just one person slowly beats the other for the comeback. Weird Statlander Nyla spot that, although I want more women's plot, I don't think needed to be in there, and it didn't really. It like shone the camera to them, shone back, went, "Oh, a feud's happening," and I was like, "All right." Layla's knee strike is great and one of the best in their fucking industry, I would say. She properly flies into people, and I will always love her step up moonsault, even though she missed it in this match. And the roll fight for the armbar looked fucking brutal. I don't know if anybody else thought that. When she was like, armbar, I'm going to try and roll out. I'm going with you. And I was like, oh god, that move is real. That's a real wrestling move that can break arms. Otherwise, good match. I gave it a C. A nice filler women's match that didn't offend me or bore me.
You say it's a filler match, but it gets you your championship shot at the NWA women's belt.
Oh, yeah, fair. Oh, God, then that's right, Giant Woman came out to stand over Tiny Woman. I forgot about the end.
Yeah, this was good. I enjoyed it. It was just a solid match, and it's a solid C match. I haven't got many notes on this one because I just sort of watched it. I thought it was a nice actual pace breaker with a match. I think it was a lot better than they normally are.
Morg Muir's being positive about an AEW women's match.
I know. Do you know who else is about to be positive about an AEW women's match?
Fuck, son, that's all three of us.
Yeah, it was a C. Solid match. So I think I must have just been tired for the first match because we seem to have been on the same page with everything else.
Yeah,
that's probably more rare than anything else. Yeah, it was a solid match. I enjoyed it. I'm a bit like you. I like Layla. Yeah, that rolling through the cross arm breaker. That was like, yeah, and yeah, loving Layla Hirsch. Following on from that, Jade Cargill and Mark Sterling promo. Any thoughts?
More of their usual sort of thing. It was fine. Was there something about Impact this time, or have I made that up?
No, she's having a match on Dark Elevation.
Oh, cool.
Oh, wow.
Skippable. I'm not even going to put a letter down for it.
No, very skippable.
So then we had Malachi Black versus Cody. Malachi wins with, now I've put question marks. He wins with the black mass. We don't know what they're going to call it yet.
No.
Which is a shame if they can't get the name the black mass because it's such a cool name for a finisher. Stuff happened afterwards. We'll get onto that. What did you guys think of the match and what score did you give it?
I actually have fewer notes on this one because I think I properly watched this. Like how I watch films that I expect not to like. I properly zoom in on them like an asshole to pick them apart. Malachi's entrance is a bit fucking good, isn't it? It's not often I make a picture of a wrestler's entrance my background on Facebook, but he looked fucking cool. Maybe it's the LARPer in me. He's got good LARP kit, shall we say.
He does have good LARP kit, apart from those antlers would never survive.
Yeah, it's true.
It's me from a man that's worn antlers.
Weirdly, and that's not even weirdly, this is what we always say about Cody matches. It's a good match.
Yeah.
Black's got great strikes. Obviously, that's what he's known for. There's good technical stuff throughout this match. I like how he can escape the crossroads by just kneeing him in the head. That's a nice counter I didn't expect. Fair play to the Benby judgment. Sorry?
Just roll over. It's the figure four.
Oh, yeah. The only thing I think which would properly made me made me pause is, although Cody took that wonderfully big bump from the turnbuckle through the table,
Yep.
it was like a 0.75-second delay between him being hit and him flying off the turnbuckle. And I always see those things. I always see that delay in momentum that makes me go, oh no. I love the fact he just sat down after he did it as well. He was just like, nope. No, fuck you. I'm gonna have a sit down and mock you. Great stuff. I'm loving Malachi more than I thought I was going to for his persona. And the cheer that came out of the crowd for that fucking kick that ended the match. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't expect this match to be over in like 12 minutes or whatever it was. It was quite a short match for the main event. And he just fucking pinned him with a foot. So fair play to Cody for doing a bit like what he did for Brody.
It's identical to what he did for Brody. That's why it was so boring. It's just the same match again. Let's retell the same story. Oh, here's a big guy. Oh, he's just beating Cody. And now Cody will come back in 7 weeks after filming his fucking show and beat him.
I still gave it a B, but now you make me want it. Now you want me to drop it to. Now you make me feel like I should drop it to a C because of that.
You know,
set me. I thought Malachi looked really cool,
Yes,
and
he
he's
did.
won me over.
he does look cool.
Over
but
to you, boo.
I really do like Black. I think he's great. I put Homelander versus a Conan baddie. This should be interesting.
Why didn't I think of that? He's General fucking Crace or whatever it is from Willow.
Yes, mate. Yeah, I really like this, but the problem with me, it had so little effect because I was like, as soon as he just started dominating Cody, I'm just like, oh, they're just doing what they did with Brody again. And it really put a sour taste in my mouth for the whole of this match. It was solid. They both know how to perform in the ring, and the black mask looks great every time it's done. But, yeah. And then the bits afterwards we can talk about afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, what scores did you both give it?
I gave it a high C.
I gave it a B. I enjoyed this match.
Yeah.
So, I didn't know. I couldn't decide on this what score to give it. I struggled with this match. I think I'm going to say, I think it was a high C. I'm going to agree with Muir. I think I don't know because...
guys, what's going on?
Because...
No, I'll go with your judgment, don't worry.
Well, part of it is, I thought much the same as Muir, but... The other half of me is the thing we said last week, and I think if anyone goes back, and I think it was last week, we actually said this match needs to be like the Brody match.
How dare they give
those
us that?
were exact. I believe those were. They might have been my exact words, but I'm sure one of us said this needs to be like the Brody match where Cody gets destroyed.
I'm held accountable for what I've said in the past.
How dare you? I've forgotten saying that. I don't need to apologise. I like the match. Fuck
yeah,
I like the match as well.
I know you did. I'm being facetious.
So yeah, I'm struggling a bit with what score to give it. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go the high C because I'm gonna have to play the middle ground because I'm not sure. Following on from that, Cody started an in-ring promo.
Oh God!
Was jumped by Black, and that's how the show went off the air. What did you guys think of the promo?
Right, I'm going to go with my positive points about this before Muir shreds it. Well, first of all, didn't Cody look fucking pale at the start of this promo section? I think that table bump properly fucking annihilated him. And Cody's a great promo. He's always very genuine. He's really good. He started taking his boots off. Blah, blah, blah. Cody, center of the ring. The bit I really, really, really like is the story development for Malachi Black. Because at the start of this, Malachi Black in his first promos were like, yo, I'm going to stop this being all about you because everything's about you. And Cody started making it all about him. So Malachi Black ran down and beat him up. And I was like, hey! But Muir is right. This does just lead to weeks off so he can have a TV show and come back and win. And it's kind of spoiled everything for me, if I'm honest.
I'm sorry to be news there, mate, but you know.
I thought this was really. I think Cody is still a great promoer, and if he has to take 20 minutes to announce that we're getting a 7-week break for him when we've been asking for this break from him for months, you know what? He can have that 10 fucking minutes. At least Malachi is showing a consistent character with story work.
That is true. That is true. But if he does just come back from the show and gets his ass kicked and then retires, I'm kind of happy with it. Just goes away.
Yeah.
Go on, Morg.
I knew he wasn't going to retire.
He should do. Fuck him.
He's too young to bloody retire. I knew he wasn't going to retire, and it kind of, at the same time, I'm like, it reminded me of the Mark Henry retirement promo, which was absolutely brilliant. I liked the imagery. I liked the way that they did it. I liked the way they tried and did the story, and the follow-on that Malachi Black had said, "I'm going to put you out because you haven't got the fire anymore, so I'm just going to put you out, put you down."
One sec. I've got a message for Cody. Cody, I know you want to be in cinema and comic book things. All of the big people are going to Marvel movies, but you like DC comics. Nobody wants to watch their films because they're bad. Just go into TV. Sorry, Morg. Carry on.
Well, I'm halfway through watching the new Suicide Squad. It's been all right so far.
John, what more could you want?
Yeah, he's also brilliant in it. Yeah. So, Mr. Strange, through the power of letter, maths, and science, what score are we giving it?
The show or the last moment? I think the last moment's undecided through a mixture of love and hate from all of us. But overall, we had a bad promo. We had a bunch of good stuff. It's all right. It's a high C. We've not quite. The best part of the show that we all universally loved was the Elite promo in the locker room. Yeah, high C. We've had enough story, enough entertainment. The things that have brought us down haven't been so much, oh, I hated that as, that was a bit weird. Why is Andrade being annoying? Or all of our lower stuff is inconsequential, but nothing's really tipped it into being a really good show. So yeah, it's all right. High C, good show. I was entertained.
I really enjoyed this show. I thought it was a really good show. Apart from like a few bits that I said I didn't particularly like, I've really enjoyed it. There's no bits that made me absolutely angry or bits that really upset me. I think it was just a solid show.
It's been a weird one. I've been the positive guy this week. And,
I actually thought this was going to get a B overall, to be honest. One of my reasonings being the amount of tired I was and I didn't fall asleep during the show.
That's fair.
It's consistently all good. It's just we had very little to take it into great.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, that's fair. So there you have it. That's our review for the week. As I say, it's a short show this week. We've got no questions or any interesting discussions. So we'll wrap it up there. I'd like to thank Anchor.fm for hosting the podcast. You can find us at Wrestleopinionated on Spotify, Anchor.fm, and YouTube. Over to you, Mr. Muir.
Right, thank you very much for listening. If you'd like to send anything in to us, please send in to wrestleopinionated@gmail.com, WrestleOP on Facebook, or WrestleOP1 on Twitter. Over to you, Strange.
Oh, you've made it this far, so you can at least click that little like button, can't you? Or the little heart on Spotify. You could do that. You're a reasonable person listening to this much of our time. Why don't you do that? If you've really liked it, you could click the share button as well and send it to all of your friends who like wrestling. That would also be great. So you can hear more about wonderful Midlands, Yam to... those guys are from Wales, technically, from my perspective. Accents. So yeah, if you could like, share, subscribe, that would be wonderful. And send in stuff for us to talk about, questions, whatever. We really enjoy having things outside of our usual thought process to deal with. But on that note, back to you, Morg.
So all that's left to be said is goodbye and good night.